What if Lizzie Bennet was a modern heroine? Hi, how are you doing today? I'm alright, drinking some tea covered with a cozy blanket. So unless you're watching this in summer, go get yourself the softest blanket you have and a warm cup of tea and get comfortable, because we are going to be discussing the character of Elizabeth Bennet. But make her a 21st century girl and give her a sword. 2025 has been a culminating year regarding books, specifically on the romantasy genre, I would say. Many of these books have been written for quite some time, others are rather new, but we can't deny that thanks to social media, the popularity of the genre has risen outside of the reader's circle, meaning that many people who didn't read before have immersed themselves into these amazing worlds because of it. And it made me reflect on the matter regarding classical books. Not everyone reads classical books, that's a fact. Let me tell you, you are missing out on great stories, specifically on romance and fiction. And sadly, people tend to degrade one or the other, depending on which ones they like best. And as a fellow romantasy dystopian classical reader, there is no bad book, just different tastes. But there are overused tropes and overused characters that tend to be repetitive, and sometimes it feels like we might be reading the same character through different stories, which isn't generically a bad thing, but it does get boring sometimes. I just moved the camera, so hopefully it's not very noticeable. Because it's not on a tripod, it's like on books. Oh no! Kind of, hopefully the same. Sorry. By the way, but English is not my first language, so sorry if I make any mistakes. Excuse me. Right now, I am reading two very different books, but both very enjoyable anyhow. The Cruel Prince by Holly Black and Emma by Jane Austen. Both stories have a girl as a protagonist who lives against the norm of where they are, and end up finding love even if it wasn't their goal. Now that's as close as we can get comparing these two books, because they happen to be entirely different stories, obviously. But I couldn't shake the feeling of how a book written in 1813 was to me as enjoyable as a book reading in 2018. And not for the first time, I reflected on Jane Austen's magnificent character writing, specifically in a book we all know and love, even if you don't like the classics. Pride and Prejudice. Elizabeth Bennet is a very rounded character who starts at the beginning of the story with, as the title refers to, many prejudices against anyone who lives or thinks different than her, aka and I believe this is a very important characteristic that in today's heroines, and I'm not just talking about books, is missing. And this is because even if times have changed, women are still portrayed as perfect, making it harder to empathize with them. No matter if these standards have changed, they are still expected to meet them. Of course, there are many exceptions to this. It's not something that has fully taken over, but it should still be talked about. Lizzie's character grows and learns as she faces life, situations where she is confronted by friends or family about her prejudices, as does her love interest, Mr. Darcy, with his respected pride, but that would take another video. Elizabeth is a young woman who doesn't prefer the generally likable things a woman her status should, like pretty dresses, or how her hair looks, or how well she can play the piano, or sew. She could be the equivalent to today's frail balance between pick me and I'm not like other girls, but she's not. And that is where the magic of her character happens. Her personality and the writing work beautifully together to construct a character that is both strong in her opinions, is kind of a loner, and would always speak up her mind no matter who she's talking to, and still feel human. This is thanks to the show Don't Tell. Lizzie doesn't go around saying, oh well, I'd rather spend my days reading than courting a man, which I mean, fair. Or saying how much she dislikes superficial people, or how she doesn't mind getting her skirt dirty with mud. She doesn't say anything, because she doesn't. She acts, and we see it, making the personality much more believable. Yes, she is a girl whose priorities aren't looking perfect, or acting accordingly, but she doesn't make herself look superior because of it. It's just a personality trait, which she acts on without pulling other characters down for liking those things. It's not a competition on who's the better woman. It's just a diversity of characters that make the story rich. Her sister Jane, on the other hand, is very different from her. Quite the opposite, actually. She is gentle with her words. She takes care of her appearance and desires love. And that is another way of strength, just as strong. That, again, doesn't dismiss the other. The sisters actually adore each other. They complement each other. They show different parts of women. Lizzie does remind me in a way to Katniss Everdeen, one of my favorite characters of all time. And the boss of bosses. Like, this girl literally took down a government and then chose a peaceful life. She does what she wants. And I do feel like if Elizabeth was born in a dystopian world where she is forced to step up for her family, and was written in this century, she would resemble Katniss more than we might think at first. What I'm trying to say with this is, no matter the scenario or the era, if a character is well written, it will transcend in time. It could be a modern heroine or a girl in the Regency era. They will still feel elastic and deep and not repetitive. We don't want to read the same characters over and over. We want to read characters that could live in any book and still have their essence. So go read Pride and Prejudice like right now because it's really good. Bye!